This is the 10. This here is 10 o'clock talks. How are you? How are you today? Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome, America, Pittsburgh. Coming from you right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. How are you tonight? Wow, pretty decent day. Let's bring happiness, right? Especially with what we go through. I know I say that a lot, and I try not to, but it is what it is. Let me just adjust this here. How are you? I wish I could hear you back right now. I can only do 2 cameras tonight. I had something else going on earlier. So anyway, no biggie. Thank you, Facebook, for all your help. I appreciate it. I don't know what's going on here. Sometimes my uploads are being seen, sometimes they're not. Maybe it's groups. I don't know. It's weird. You would think we're all in this together, people. But it could be the administrators. I don't know. I'm being told by people still, hey, Mike, I'm not seeing your thing. And I am Michael Anthony. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate everything that you bring to me. You know, you put me here, and I appreciate it. March 24th, upload, 2021. Another day, more news. Doesn't end, does it? I want to start off again, like as I always do. You know, support somebody's dream, small businesses. And it's so important, vitally important. These guys a lot of them aren't making it. Some of the bigger franchise businesses are doing okay. People just go that route, I guess. But we need the smalls to succeed. We really do. I beg of you to consider anything you can do to support the smalls. And thank you for that. Thank you for letting me get that out there. It's important. You know, we have to save America, and they are a very big part. There's more smalls than there are franchises. Which makes them a little bit more, it's harder to survive. They're more vulnerable to a situation like this that we're all going through. I don't like that situation. I don't like it anymore, and I like Biden. And I know you feel me. I know you do. America! We got to fix this. We got to work hard. We got to stand strong. We got to be the America who we are and not let that be taken from us. The comments today, the things that were out there, just appalling in every way. Man, it's huge, and it never ends. And they're not going to let it end. But that's okay. We got this, right? We got this. I know you do. I know you do. Stay in it. Stay in it hard. So anyway, let me get to this. I want to talk about something real quick. Suppression of voice and all that. And I brought this up before, but this is important. Inner thoughts. They're your speech. They're your words. You think here, they come out here. That's your voice. So they're not. The suppression of voice is really they're trying to turn this off. That's what I say to that. I mean, no, you cannot. No, it ain't gonna happen. But words are strong. Why are words strong? They're strong because they can be written. And when they're written, they're understood, they're information. And their information is what they seem to only want the narrative to be important. Well, here we are in this fight on all the social media platforms. And, it's in a huge way more than bad when you take that out of a human being. But words are power. You pass a law, says you can pull over a car between 6 and 8 o'clock every night on this street. That's a law. It's power. They have the right to enforce it. There's where we have the complication. There's much of that like that out there. It just is. And we need to understand how to re-attack the battle of the suppression in that matter. That's the kindest way I can put it. all books are written by man. There's no other logic on this earth that says man, other than man, anyone else has written a book. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. The Anunnaki was, stories behind that, and there could be lost details. Could the Vatican have these details and so forth? And I go here with the words, the power of words, because now they want to ban the Bible. And I talked about God in creation one day. I'm not a religious show, but I respect to all and your beliefs. And I thank the Christians who support me. I support you. I support your voice. I am your voice for you. If I can do anything, I will voice it until they take me down. And I'll come back. They'll just put a 1 in front of it or behind it. There'll be something Michael Anthony 1, or it will happen. Don't worry. I'll be refound. But it's true. Is God creation or is creation God? And if it is, in either matter, then we are one as God. Each one of us are that. And we need to understand that. But we also need to understand that men wrote books. And what is their narrative to do this while they're erasing other histories? What are they trying to really say? Because they have nothing, it seems, but satanic beliefs. And this is all being pressured to us in an abundant way right now. It's all about corruption and lies and immorals and narratives that are beyond within reasonable discussion, but are publicly being thrown in our face. That is the hardest hit in the face you can take. I think you get where I'm coming from. Ban the Bible, ban this, ban that, allow this, allow that. It's a mess. The world's a mess. And all I can say is America, people of the world globally, I know I get shared out there that way. And I appreciate my friends doing that. I'll send you anything you want, email, you share it as much as you want over there. I appreciate you. I really do. And I thank you too for the support, the follows, and everything. And I'm going to ask a favor to all the administrators of the rooms. Do not suppress me. I'm entitled to every worthiness of this great America, Save America, mega red hat group as any other person. I'm sorry I don't have a larger format that you may not approve of. And I say this with respect to you. Let this sink in. I am every bit of you, and I am every bit in it with you. Share my post, because evidently this is occurring. Anyway, let me get past that. The words were kind of deep there, but it's true, and that's more things being said. I also like to say hello to Barb's Country Kitchen, because I do it for free. I don't ask for nothing or say, can you donate? No, you're never going to hear that from me. I want to help these smalls. I really do. And it's important that I do. It really is. It doesn't just make you feel good. They're more important than I. But my voice can help them. Maybe just a little bit. I feel like I'm doing something wonderful for them. So I want to say this to some of my friends out there. I want to say hello to worthy people in Pittsburgh and around the area real quick. I want to say hi to North Park Lounge. Let you know we're thinking about you. Steve's Pub, we're thinking about you. 12 Whiskey, we're thinking about you. These are Pittsburgh businesses who you can support. Share a little of your stimulus with them, please. 202 Taco. These are food sources. Yes, they are. And I have others. I really do. I have a lot of others, actually. I need to repost a new support upload to start including more, because they're coming in now. And it's wonderful that I'm being heard that way and I can share. The Blaze Grill. And my friends down at the Blaze, I got asked if you could do like some type of wedding things or rehearsal dinners. Let me know on that part. I'd appreciate it because I know you do listen. Luke and Mike's front porch. See, that wasn't hard. That wasn't hard. It's easy to do that. These are Pittsburgh locations, America. And if you have something out there somewhere else, friends, family that have something, I don't care where they're at. I have people in all 50 states listening to me. I really do. I check that. And I know if I asked them to share something, they would. I'll make sure it gets posted by others if you give it to me. I do personal things that you guys aren't seeing. I truly do. So anyway, yeah, Innovative Motors, Steel City Insulation. Love your guys' work up there. Out of sight. McGuinn's Barbershop. I had to say hello to a few. So with that said, I'm going to get on with this. Spring is happiness, right? It's supposed to be. Flowers are coming up. The sun's coming out. You're going outside. You're getting some fresh air. Walking's becoming more tolerable. We're running. And you need to live that dream. Because they're talking now, and it's been said, I have a couple friends up at the Big P at the Pentagon, and they're talking 2023 suppressions here. It's nuts. Fauci made comments on it. Gates made some real stupid comments that I can't wait to give you that news on. I don't want to talk to you about everything you already heard today and got nah by every... No, come on. It's almost like that mockery that we've seen every media station in the world all saying the same lines. I try to fall away from that. But I give you the truth and the honesty that I can find and share it in conversation with you. It's the best I can do to keep our spirits up and to keep our strength. And I do believe in strength, and we all need it. We really, really do. Yeah, okay. I told you yesterday that with the 20th and the transformation of the final military authorities from Trump to Biden took place, and Biden came out firing a gun. There will be no resistance. So there will be no resistance. I get it. Yeah, he had to say it because he's being given a script, so to speak. And we know that he is sick, and they need to Act 25 him. Let's just get down to the nitty gritty, and we'll handle it. Because they're going to dig their own grave. People are going to not vote for these people. And that's why they're bringing these people in. They're going to buy votes. They're buying votes. They're buying votes. Just like with the federal $21,000 bonus stimulus come on for only federal employees. This is nitpicking and just to aggravate us. And it is aggravation. They don't deserve what we can't have. We all work. You know, that is racist to me. That is, to me, on my side. You're judging us and factoring in what you want to factor in. And that's just totally wrong. Pelosi, it's totally wrong. Anyway, welcome to the 10. This is 10 o'clock talks. Yeah, crazy. I want to give you some awareness. This China thing, it's easier than you may think. And while we're doing all this stuff, you know, people are posting, hey, wake up. They're building the strongest Navy in the world, and they really are. But not only that, they're in the Bahamas, and now they're in Canada, and they're making their presence known in Canada. I'm going to repeat that. They are. Chinese militants are up there, right at our border. Then you have the Bahamas. They say they're, hey, we're building resorts and restructuring out here. It's all about investments. But meanwhile, we're seeing their new navies. Be very cautious. Be very careful. And Joe does bow to them. I mean, you have been watching some things, I would assume. So I want to shout that out to you. Yeah. Crazy stuff, man. Now, I also want to say something else that I gave an awareness to mammograms yesterday. I followed up a little bit more today. I actually did last night, and I got a very late email. And this problem that's occurring for people, if you say 2 weeks ago you went and you made an appointment for a mammogram, but 2 weeks ago you got that hit in the arm, the punch, and they pricked you, and now 2 weeks later you get the test. Well, there's an issue that occurs. There's some type of discommunication of the body that it doesn't like, and the lymph nodes swell. So there's a space before and there's a space after. And everything has to be spaced well. I don't get what the before is. But, I mean, it's what it is. They're saying it's the lymph nodes, and they can cause ill effects as well as false positives to the test. So again, I implore that you talk to your doctor and bring this up to them. It's important. It's your health, ladies. Do it. So just be careful with that. Be very careful with that. And remember the words that are power and why they're doing this to us and why they're attacking everything that is good that you believe in. I'm not going to judge any of it, or you, or me. Love everywhere. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can put it to everybody out there. I'm just doing my thing. Welcome to my world of entertainment. Because on an entertainment basis, I mean, they're not bothering me. If I was probably doing it any other way, I would have probably got tossed out of here a long time ago. Anyway, let me get into George Soros. And some of you might be aware of this or not. I brought it up about, I don't know. I did. I brought it up some time back. And I do know that this is all real true, though. So I'm reflecting back, but giving you what I feel is better credible information right now. Let me turn my page here. It'll help me. It'll help me. So to pronounce it right, I think it's Myanmar. Part of Asia, part of Burma. I guess they got tired of Soros and some of the actions that they do down there with private fundings and resources to help the bad. So they went in and they confiscated the computers, froze and seized all bank accounts. And that was done through the government and military. So it's Myanmar. Myanmar. I think that sounds. I'm not great. I mean, but I'm telling you what I got. And I did check back into it. I looked at it all, jumped around to different sites. This happened. So, bang, George Soros. Somebody's not taking his BS bullshit. You know what I mean? And that's good news for us. That's standing up, even though it's elsewhere, because this is a global problem. This ain't about Trump losing in America, even though it's a major, major factor. It's beyond what we could ever conceivably believe, but it is in our face. But this is a global matter of problem, of reset, and ideologies that just plain are, they're not us. It's not who we are, and we don't believe in them, and we don't want them. So we can only stay strong as people as we are and together. It's very important. Strength in numbers is positivity. It truly is. So, yeah, nice slap in the face for Soros. And they probably won't hurt his pocketbook, but they have collapsed part of his organization. And hopefully the world wakes up and other governments get involved that can trace people like this and follow the money and, slap them back in their faces. And that's the way it should be. It really should be like that. So, I mean, I'm loving it. When I hear something like that, I'm loving it. Little news for Pennsylvania. Up in Roaring Springs, PA. There was a paper mill up there. I don't want to stop any business going in from the place. I don't want to say their name, and the location probably says enough. But they're about to lose 300 jobs and close this plant, and this has to do with the ill effects of what Biden's doing. And yet these people voted for Biden. And this is why I tell you, it doesn't matter who you voted for. People are waking up. They're going to come to our side. But it's going to be a little too late for them. They did what they did. We can't take it back, even though their vote wouldn't have helped them if we could honestly take the steps, which some and Sidney Powell are still pushing forth, and Mike Lindell and Lynn Wood and some others still have a fight in the game, and Trump himself and his organization and legal teams. There are still things out there that are active. We can just do what we can to wait on these things to find out where they may or may not go. So, yeah, with that being said, these poor people up there, and this is going to affect the whole economy in the area. 300 people in a small rural area with a plant like this, and it's going to affect, the way they described it, 7 more people for every 1 person at a job loss. It's going to have a down effect of 7 other people to every one. Amazing how high and the numbers can go. And it's true. And they were the support system pretty much for this area. And I'm not going to say the name, but it's in Pennsylvania, and they're not going to do good. It's going to be bad for them up there, especially that whole entire area. And I know up where I do all my carving and so forth, up in the mountains, we just went through a big closure up there. Everybody lost their jobs. Houses went up for sale everywhere. It was devastating. And to see this, I know where that's coming from. So there's effects beyond everything that you see over an issue. So we're going to hope to stay in the fight and see that something great come out of the pipeline lawsuits that the general down there, the AG's doing for us in Texas. And there's a lot of people involved on that to get this pipeline finished and open, because there's no sensibility to what they're doing. They're transporting for hundreds of thousands of dollars to get an oil in, when we could be doing it for basically a no transportation fee. It's ridiculous, and we're going to pay for it in another way, but that's their plan. They want us all electrified. They want to get rid of gas engines now, everything. And the comments have come out. I've talked about them. We don't have the power grid to support what they want to do. That's the real weird part about this. Just like the border, which I'm going to get into. So with that said, best wishes to all you folks up there. I hope something turns around for you. Again, it doesn't matter who you voted for, but you know who to vote for next time. And I'm sure you'll be on our side. So the Biden administration, wants to raise corporate tax to 20%. Again, it's a downfall. The big corporate conglomerates need to have leniency on taxes, because they're the investors, first investors. They're always first in line to reinvest, to get larger. And that is growth. If you suppress the growth, you're going to fail the nation. It's going to be more jobs. It's going to be more catastrophic issues that way. But this is who we have up there. And again, Joe's sick beyond the dot. I mean, he's being told what to say, what to do. And we know Obama's behind a lot of it with Soros. That's why I'm so happy to see he got slapped in his face. Someone saying, you're not going to get away with this. And they took advantage of being able to take him down and with part of his organization. Look into it. You'll see. It's out there. So, yeah, 28%. And the ill effects are going to be enormous. You think 300 people with every one job, 7 other people will be affected? You don't even want to hear about the catastrophic numbers that we're talking about when people start to say, and they will. Corporations are smart. They'll figure out a different way to earn money, whether it's through stocks or because they have to worry about their own success. And that's where the effects always come back on the working man. The guy that's built this country, bricks and mortar, and more. So, yeah, 28%. And I told you so sometime back. I told you. So, anyway, I'm not right about everything, but I did say it. Let me see what else I got here. Okay, so, yeah, bracelets and passports to travel. I talked about that last night, but if you missed it for some reason, I'm saying I like to do a little fluctuation of a couple days, fit them back in quickly. It's coming. Get the planes ready too. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. And then, the big word up here in Pennsylvania, and you're probably going to deal with it where you're at. And they're already canceling July 4th activities. But guess what? You can watch fireworks on TV, or you can view them from some hillside somewhere. But all the normality activities, the parades, the marching bands, America, 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 the beautiful they took that off the table for a reason. Guaranteed. Is it about this? No. I think it's suppression of our rights. That's exactly where I'm coming from with that. Take it for what you will. Now, I also want to get into something else. Were we pre-warned about this in 1980 with the Georgia Guidestones? I mean, we have it in different languages and 10 steps how to bring it back together, 8 languages, 4 ancient languages, but with steps how to rebuild. To me, I think it has something to do with now. It just feels like it. I don't know. Think about that. Think about it. I had to say it. I had to say it. Yeah. And then, like, what now? A fight with Korea, you know? Our defense secretary warns us all, forces get ready to fight. Trump's the only one that never had a war under his belt. He took care of action, though. You know, if he felt the threat, if he was advised of a threat, he did what was necessary. And I think he kept us safe by doing that. Acted a lot in the same ways as Reagan did. That way. Don't play the game. Don't play the game. He wasn't that kind of man. He came after you. He made sure you were stopped. So, yeah, with that said, where's that going to go? I don't know. And I do believe, again, Obama's feeding information definitely into this clique of the administration. He's off the side, but he'll never be off the side and have the power that Trump has. Never. He'll never be as big as Trump. He's a failure. He was a failure to the American people. Him and his Obamacare and everything else. Failure. 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 It benefited the deep pockets. That's who it benefited. And this gets a little more harsher. And I don't even like to go here. But we're in that time, and I guess it needs to just be said, truthfully. You know, Biden's going through to sign the bill on what I call was a depopulation. But it's the abortions up to birth, where they can take the child, and this is the most hardening part of this. The process then, if the child is alive, goes through, they say, will go through a 3-day process of the extermination process. I don't believe it for a minute. I think it's a harvesting, something, don't judge me. This all fits in ways, and I could be totally wrong, and I apologize to you right now on that part. But it is, in fact, if you allow this to occur, whether it's early or late, you are adding to a depopulation mechanism. And is that truly where the idea is? And if it is, then what is it truly about with all these testing and private deep state things that were suppressed from our ears on what was going on in these test labs and so forth and what they really do? And there's much out there and much leaks, many leaks that came forth that we know that they are in some very dark, dark projects. I don't know how people can live with themselves this way, but my thought is this a way for longevity? Is technology so good where they will actually be, God forbid me saying this the wrong way, but it is what it is. Is this deeper like that? Is this a harvesting to keep people alive into the future? Can they do that? I don't know, but I mean, there has to be a bigger picture for them to do this. Cancel the Bible, cancel God, cancel church, bring sex into everything, and children and sex and pedophilia. I mean, come on, this is just weirdness, and we already know it's satanic. It's in there. I really believe that. And I apologize for even talking about it, but I just felt like it needed to be said because we know it's going through. You know, and there is nothing good about a government when they no longer work for you. And we know our government is trash. It's a bigger plan with bigger and stronger money out in America. And it's a plan of destruction. I mean, how long will the American citizens really sit back? I don't know. I don't know. These people are putting a bullseye on their own backs. I mean, you know, people are thinking things, and that is the truth. I would love to see them all just go bye-bye. I would. I'm not telling anybody to do a damn thing. That's not where this is going. But I know we all feel it. How do we overturn a government like that when we can't get near them and our own families in the militaries? And that's why Joe came right out and said, do not resist me. when I give you an order. They plan ahead. Their think tanks are very smart. They really are. So that's what we're going through. Figuring out a way sooner than later how to deal with this in a better way. And right now, all we have is President Trump. And by the time, maybe, if we can get him back in, if some miracle does not occur, what will be left to salvage? And how long will that take? And will the fight even be worse and harder? Will he be able to succeed as the successor that he has been? We have a lot to think about there. And it's true fact when I tell you this. I mean, it just is what it is. And I'll give you some good news, because anything that brings trouble to these freaking morons, it's a pleasure to give you. AOC and her little constituent evidently seems, you won't catch this on media news, seems they're being investigated on some fraud, diverting more than $800,000 in electoral funds and, I guess, donations to her cause to be reelected. So good. Good. Maybe she'll get slammed somehow, you know? But they won't talk about it. And that's the weird part. The suppression of everything. Is anything happening with anything? I mean, it's that far gone. Now, Gates, that idiot, let's bring him back into the picture. The guy that talks to everybody like he's a doctor with the highest education out there in the world. This idiot comes on a show and talks about GMO organisms and how they are putting them right into kids' veins, injecting them. Now, we know that there was a bunch of things that went on in Africa some time back he was involved in. And these people are all involved. Fauci, all of them, WHO, all these people, even the American programs who supported some of this COVID stuff that had occurred. And they did. They were embarrassing enough to say they did. It's true. And he's talking about injecting children with GMO organisms. I mean, are you serious? Really? And he talks as if he was doing it already. Where are they getting these subjects? Get my drift on what my previous kind of thing was about? I don't know, but I wanted to put that out to you. So they are, GMO organisms and direct shooting, and there wasn't much said about where it was going, what the effects were, whatever, but we know they did a lot of harm in African children. That I can assure you is true. You can look into that. It wasn't good at all. But tell me if you've seen this coming. The border. It was safe. It was signed. We had our side. Mexico had their side. It was all quiet. The election comes. The change of administration. Then the battling of the executive orders and opening the border. But did you see this coming? They're not stopping. Joe's saying we're closed now. We're not taking anymore. Well, guess what? There's lines still coming. And now Mexico is getting bombarded with these people. And they're not very happy with the Biden administration by any means. So, yeah, it was coming. It was inevitable. And now they had to order all their military and National Guard deployments of however their military works and names are to guard all the, border lines. What are they going to do with these people? They're coming there. I mean, how are they going to divert them? What really is going to be the bigger picture here? It's unreal. And now, more troubling that Mexico's going to have to deal with Joe's mistake. Hey, Joe, you signed it. You ordered it. You are the man in charge. You're responsible for it. Act 25 is going to come quicker. Nothing happened here. Sweep it under the rug. We didn't do it. Joe did it. And then they're going to make more moves and not change any of them when that day does come. And it's soon. Very, very soon. So with that said, I wanted to throw that in there and just give you a quick narrative to things on that part. Because we look like idiots with this moron in charge because he is the lead man. He's still responsible, and that's just the way it goes. There's much more to talk about today, but it's all negative, and I've talked about a lot of it too as well. I want to just bring that up to you. I did do the best I can to try to keep it interesting and honest. It's hard. Now let's get to the biggest story that hit today, the mass shooting in Colorado. And, of course, yeah, the Americans were guilty. We're the gun problem. But yet, the FBI failed here again. The ones that failed with the dossier and, everything. So they knew about this person, evidently. And the gunman was from Syria being reported. The FBI said he was on the radar. Boy, yeah, they watched him well, right? And believe me, everything that they're doing right now on the insurgent, keep it under close scrutiny because they're making it up as they go. A lot of it, they're in there deep. Trump tried to clean house in ways, but it's still there. It's still there. It really is. And with this said, it's unbelievable and very sad to the people and families, and prayers to you. I can say nothing here that's good because our FBI and your country failed you. And they did. And they should be held responsible for mistakes like this because they make them all the time, it seems. Yeah. What does it stand for? Federal Bureau of I almost said something I shouldn't have. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. And they're nothing of that. And the dossier proves that, and of the biggest way possible. I'll just leave it at that. Their mistake, but blame you for the guns and your privileges for owning the guns. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And, that's what's out there. So I'm just giving you what I got. So families, though, I'm with you. Prayers to you. I'm going to ask the Christians, send these people prayers. Please do it. Whatever you can. Whatever you can to heal their hearts. It's terrible. None of this is ever good. Ever, ever, ever. And FBI. Wow. Why can't we just 86 these programs and people? We have no rights to our rights. That's the problem that's here. That's the problem. I want to talk about something else, too, because something came up with a few people that I was talking to lately, and they're concerned about the new CARE Act for Obama. I'm sorry, yeah. Well, he's actually probably running it as a front man to the advisory committee administration. But we can talk about insurances real quick. And Obamacare failed. And if you didn't have it, you got fined it. And if you made too much, you had to pay it all back if they gave it to you. I mean, it was crushing America in a lot of ways. Donald Trump gets rid of it. Now they want to bring it back again. But the picture's even bigger than that. You can have home insurance, car insurance, and whatnot. And they make sure every exclusion not to pay you is in this. So what are you paying for? The only thing I think that they're letting be natural is a natural fire. Because if it's set, of course it's not covered. Accidental fire. There's so many exclusions, and the brokers and insurance companies don't share enough information with the purchasers of the insurance policies. It's always diversional practice of misleading representation of what the fine print. Who reads that? Who understands that thick of a packet? You see what I'm saying? And the big elites who own these insurance companies want to make sure that, they don't have to pay you. They'll figure out a way. Now that the weather climate's going to change, guarantee you, if you haven't already seen changes in policies, you will start to see even more. Because anything that they do, spraying these skies and whatnot with the chemtrails and so forth, and it does create a humidity factor that creates major mass storm. This sun comes down, it hits this reflectance of, and more than you think is in this stuff than you would ever believe. But it does reflect it some. That part is working. But what it's doing then, it's creating like a microwave effect. And then you have 5G working with it. And it turns into violences, you know? And yeah, so insurance companies are already planning how not to pay you. You know, severity of storms, floods, surging, tornadoes. And they're going to blame it on climate control. It's all because of the climate. No, we already know that the Earth goes through this. We've done test samples for 50 years at the Antarctica. We know it comes. It all matches all the way up in the samples that we are just in a revolution of where we are, and we're running a little hotter right now. Comes and goes every so many years, but yet they're telling you different. So, yeah, be careful what you're purchasing. Try to deal with the best and most honest people that you can. It's very important. It's shameful where we're going, even with that. And what it's going to cost us to pay this money back, and maybe not me, but the kids, and so forth. The trillions of dollars. But let's not even bring up all the missing trillions. Where's that money? And President Reagan even announced it, you know? So anyway, yeah. I had to get that out there because changes are coming to that when this climate control comes into full effect. It's going to get worse, but they're actually going to make it worse. They really will. They'll make it worse. They'll make it cooler in ways. But when it is hot and the intensity of clear air, if that wasn't up there, you'd have fluid movement in the stratosphere and the atmosphere and so forth, and the temperatures. But what they're doing is they're regenerating the heat back up where the planes fly, where it's icy cold. And yeah, even though it's reflecting it some, it's baking us inside this globe of mist. And they got it done pretty well. And if you think about it, if I'm a damn liar here, aren't snow resorts making snow? Come on. This stuff is back from the Vietnam War. But anyway, they perfected it much better. But if you really knew all the particles that were in it, and some of them not real dangerous, but we're breathing all this stuff in. It's getting into our crops. It's getting into the water sources. It's getting in our skin. If you take a credit card after a rain, you see like scum and you just wish your car, go over and scrape it with a credit card. Put a magnet to it. This stuff is so microfine. And they're just spraying it everywhere. And it has a purpose, a bad purpose. Yeah, so GMO, if you do any gardening, try to find everything that's safe as you can. And honestly, you can't, I don't even know if water's protected anymore. I mean, with all of this going on, you can only do the best you can do. That's the world we're in, and it's sad. It's filled with sadness to me that way. But my heart goes out to the families. And don't forget, we are 10 O'Clock Talks. Coming to you from Pittsburgh. Hello, America. And thank you, America. Thank you, everybody. Administrators, let me in. Something's going on here. Something's going on. It's weird. I'm not trying to be a giant, but, let my people watch. If they want to watch, let them watch. Hello to Classic Crafts. I did a little segment with Classic Adventures today, too. Paranormal. I'll be uploading that for everybody to check out. It's pretty interesting. It was kind of the first time I really got to do what I wanted to do. It took a lot longer to put it together. Wanted to feel natural and good and bring a good element of something of a change. So I hope you guys catch it when I put it up. Like I said, I'll also be posting some new stuff for the small business people. Please support your small businesses. Please stand up for America. Stay strong. Health and conscious. Vitamin D3, important. Zinc, very important. One helps the other with this new flu because it's a new flu. The flu we don't even hear about the flu. So it must be the new flu. But we know that those two substances work. Keep your immune system high. Keep it rocking. A lot of vegetables, a lot of water. Walk. Stay off sugars. Failed to mention that the other night. That's important. If you sit there and donut binge and ice cream binge and just sit and watch TV, your death waiting to happen. Hello, I'm going to say it the way it is. And if you did catch this and you're sick in one of these categories where we know that this can entrap you, then you're dead. And if that's how you want to live life, I could sit here till I'm blue in the face. Please listen to me. Pay heed. Stay healthy. Trust nothing. Look at what we're living in. At least you can do the best you can for yourself that way. And yeah, wow. March 24th, 2021 from Pittsburgh. I am Michael Anthony. This is 10 O'Clock Talks. I enjoyed your company tonight. I know you're not right with me. Well, one camera was. I didn't have the other one up tonight. And that actually, I lost that about 5 minutes ago. So anyway, so much for that. I appreciate y'all. Hello to all my new friends. Thank you for sharing, following, and please continue to do that. Share, follow, like, whatever. View. That's good. If you don't view it all the way, try to. Check out the views. Check on my page. And remember, I will never judge you. Please don't judge me. You all have a fantastic